So wait, there's only one that be putting this up, man. There's only one that has a Cappadocian. Yo, what's good, bro? Yesterday we couldn't get any debates going, bro. I mean, I'll be getting out too late. I don't know. I gotta start getting on earlier or something. I need some debates, some people. These debates are dying. Straight chilling, bro. Straight chilling. I just talked with Mitch for he texted I texted Mitch. He's planning on some stuff, but I don't know when he's gonna be on, but I know he's planning on working on some stuff. Nothing we can go. Hey, hold on. Let me post the link real quick. By the way, I've been noticing that since I got this I got an internet cable plugged in, but I didn't have any trouble yesterday streaming. I don't know if my internet is trash to the point where like if I start getting multiple people that my restream has to then record their voice and also their video separately. I don't know if that's when it starts lagging or what. So maybe I bring you up, so if you want to come up. But I want to try maybe just having your voice and see if I lag like that. I'll be having that. I have that. And the thing is, it's crazy because I checked the upload and the download. It's not really bad. I don't know what the heck's going on. But yeah, we gonna see. We'll figure it out. We're working on going over some John 1 arguments that get overlooked. Like there's a way to actually backtrack in John 1 instead of working from verse 1, working from verse 7 and 8 and then working on backwards to see if the other person can stay consistent in their exegesis. But yeah. Mitch, it should be on. Hopefully, soon. I don't know today. Hey, what do you think about the lighting though, SOA? I'm working on it little by little. I'm trying to learn how to get good lighting. My lighting, I got to make something work with this camera. It's probably not the best camera, but it's all right. I wonder if it looks all right on stream. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, that cross is fire, bro. You know that cross is fire. That Eastern Cross is it, man. One day I'm gonna end up being Orthodox. Watch. I don't know. Nah, it's just I don't know. I have some soteriological things going on with that, but as far as the Trinity, man, hey, they got it. They got it. They got it. They got it. For real. Yo, can you hear me, SOA?
Yep.
Hey, so I'm gonna have your voice running, but I don't know if I bring you up and I start like recording video separately. I don't know if that's why it starts lagging or what. But I want to try it like this.
You ain't nobody need to see me.
Yeah, you just have your Avi, anyways.
Where truth at? He's bringing up the same objections that he brought you and I what was it, a few days
Truth,
ago? Yeah. And there's like
the
you,
ones that he
Jose, and
got,
I. Hmm?
the ones that he got sent to the moon with.
Yeah. How can God have a brother? Is Jesus' God your God? Is it?
I would think after that, I would think after that, Truth will never bring those same objections again, bro. That was crazy. I still got to clip that and post it. I never even ended up clipping it.
It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. But yeah, it is what it is. I told him to come over here, but he won't.
Yeah,
You know he won't.
yeah, probably not. Um, it was crazy because that day I remember that Jose brought Truth up for backup, and then Truth ended up telling Jose, "You have to repent from your oneness."
Oh my goodness! Wow.
You don't remember that,
No.
bro? Truth literally told Jose, well, you have to repent from your oneness.
The tables have turned, bro. Now he's gonna be on our side soon enough. God knows it.
I, yeah. Um. What do you think about this right here? So I was trying to figure out how to make an argument for John 1:1, just strict exegetically, um without too much into the Greek, because even in the Greek they can say it's just a personification of the word, right? The word is not an actual literal person. I've been thinking a while, like that's the reason why I don't. If you notice, I don't really use John 1 often in arguments,
Yeah.
um, because I know how these dudes can be ratty when it comes to John 1. Um,
Mhm.
but I've been thinking of a way to work exegetically, starting from around like 7, 8, and 9, and seeing how consistent they stay with their exegesis, working backwards from 7 and 8. Like, for example, like if you ask somebody, speaking of John, John comes to bear witness, right? He came to bear witness about the light. Do people often refer to this light as personal or impersonal? The
Um,
heretics.
heretics.
Impersonal, right?
Well, I mean, I've heard
Because
of one Unitarian that tried to use that against me that said that John was not the light, but he came to bear witness of the true light. But the light is in the Word, so in Jesus was Jesus, which was a horrible argument. But that's really the only objection or anything I've ever heard about that. No one really uses the whole light thing, as far as I've heard.
but Jesus does say he is the light of the world. So the light is an actual person, right?
Yep.
9:5 says it again. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. So it would seem that here John in chapter 7 is not bearing witness about this impersonal light force, right? Especially thinking about verse 8 where he says he was not the light. That would imply that, well, then who is the light, John? Right? That's the next question. Who is the light?
Person.
It's a person, but came to bear witness about the light. Now, who does he come to bear witness about? John bore witness about him. Who? The only Son, right?
Yep.
Now, here's where it starts getting tricky for these dudes, I think, because if they admit that this light is actually a person, not an impersonal force like air or something, like a force, then we have to ask them, what light is John referring to here? Well, the light that shines in the darkness, right? So then that would mean that light is also personal, right?
Has to be.
If they admit that this light that he's referring to here is personal, well, John is referencing this light that shines in the darkness. So that light must be personal, right? Now, which light is that? In him was life, and the life was the light of man. So this light is in him that was life. So are they going to make a flip here from personal to impersonal? Or are they going to stay consistent in that John keeps on referring to the same person? Right? So is verse 4 personal or impersonal? Right? That's the question. So on and so forth. And if you say verse 4 is personal, since you admit that the light is personal, and here the light of man is that life, which would be personal, then the next question is, well, who is the him that he's referring to here? Well, the him that all things were made through, right? Without him, nothing was made that was made. So
Yep.
on and so forth. You start going back and back. Well, then who is this him referring to? Because this has to be referring to a previous subject. Well, this him is referring to the one that he was in the beginning with, that was in the beginning with God. And you're almost at verse 1, right? So if you take that train of thought, testing how consistent they are in John's personal and impersonal usage of these words, like you're pretty much at verse 1 already. And who is the one that was in the beginning? Well, the Word. Right? Now, in theory, it doesn't sound that functional, but my guess is I want to try running this argument questioning a person about exegesis, like questioning them in the moment. Because I'm usually not able to tell whether an argument is very good or not until I test it. Like I think about them, but when I see it in action, then I know it's good. Like for example, I know the argument that is very good against the Unitarians now, which I thought about it and then I put it to the test and it's undefeated so far, is the nominal preexistence argument from John 8:58. Right?
Hmm.
Have you seen me use that argument?
No, but I can get a good clue of how it goes.
I used it against Andrew, and Andrew ended up saying that God was not all knowing. Were you there?
Most definitely
Andrew
not.
Andrew Griffin? It's on my channel.
Wait, that already. Dang, I thought that was like next month or something. Oh, I really want to watch that too.
Oh no, watch this. He ended up saying that God is not all knowing. And I told before I even ran the argument through him, I told Mitch, I said, Mitch, now watch. Andrew's gonna admit that God is not all knowing. And then he's like, okay. And then Andrew's like, psh. He's like, I have no idea how you're gonna get to that from this verse right here. And then, sure enough, within a few seconds, it was cooked. Watch, let me show you. That was the
Yeah,
funniest thing ever, dude.
disappointing. What kind
Man,
of
look at the title.
hmm? I know the future, but God doesn't.
But his God.
Oh, but his God doesn't. Oh, I love how you put the lowercase g for the God. Lovely.
All right,
Price,
Andrew, let's get to
right?
the text.
No,
Let's go.
nobody here. I will just say this: nobody
Oh, it's
here is
lagging,
going to
isn't it?
look as deep as what you're doing because you're not wanting to deal with the text.
It's lagging, isn't it?
Not for me.
Oh, it's not?
I
All
I
right.
am
So let's deal
I
with the
am
text.
I'm certain of
All right,
that.
so
But
watch this, Mitch. Watch
All
what
right, go
Andrew's
for it.
gonna admit. This is I'm Nostradamus. So Andrew is gonna admit that God is not all knowing. You ready?
Okay. You said
All right.
John 8, right?
John 8:58.
All right.
Bro.
Yeah, you
Yo,
heard
this
that.
You already know it, bro. You already know
No,
it.
I don't. I have no. I have no idea how you're gonna take your hypothesis and use John 8:58. I'm thinking, how in the world are you jumping here? What are you
I
trying to
got
prove?
you.
That's what
Watch,
that was
watch.
about, bro.
You're gonna admit that God is not all knowing. Watch. Nostradamus. You ready? So Jesus said to them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, before Abraham was, I am." So Genestai, right? Before Abraham came into existence, I am. For you, that's nominal pre-existence.
Yep.
Okay, so nominal pre-existence. Did Abraham? Now, by the way, for those that don't understand what he means by nominal pre-existence, he means that Christ can say he existed before Abraham because Christ existed in the plans and thoughts of God as a plan. That's nominal pre-existence, meaning not actually concretized, but only existing in the mind of God as a plan. Am I strawmanning you?
No.
That's a bad.
Okay, got you.
Okay.
Did Abraham exist in the mind of God as a plan or a thought?
Oh no.
I'm not aware of anywhere in the scriptures that says that,
So is God all knowing?
bro. I'm telling you. Can you show me somewhere in scripture?
Andrew, hold on. Answer the questions. Andrew, is God all knowing? Did he know everything
This
from
is-
the beginning before anything was created? Does he declare the end from the beginning? 2 minutes in, and it
I think
happened.
you're
What I
ripping
said
that
was
out
gonna
of
happen.
Context.
Now, why can't Andrew say that God is all knowing? Because if God is all knowing, then Abraham would have also been existing in the mind of God simultaneously. Thus, Jesus wouldn't be able to say before Abraham was I am, because Abraham would have also been in the mind of God. And the whole nominal pre-existing argument would be debunked. Did you see what I said, Mitch?
Rip it out of
He can't
context.
say-
What else
Yes,
is that?
because-
What else can that
okay,
mean
I'm
that he
gonna-
knows all
because-
things?
So
He
let
knows
me ask you,
everything
Andrew,
from in the beginning.
Did God know about Abraham and his plans for Abraham before he created? Yes or no?
I
Answer
see
the question.
nowhere in scripture where that's stated.
Okay, answer this question. Is God all knowing?
What do you mean by all knowing?
He knows
Wow.
everything about you, about
Oh,
me,
I'm-
about
I'm
me,
so- I'm an
Abraham
open-
before it
I'm
comes
an
to
Bro,
pass.
I
I'm an
knew. I was
open
about to
theist.
ask, like,
He's
oh
an
yeah,
open theist.
right. I was like, wait a minute. He believes that he's in the mind of God before Abraham. So can't that apply to everyone? But there is no way, bro.
Now, I ran that same argument in Albert's against another Unitarian. And same thing, dude. He literally started moving the goalposts so fast. You're Unitarian, right?
Yeah, I'm
Unitarian.
yeah.
You have to read the
Okay,
context of the verse before, because he's
What?
saying, "I'm
I
the
got you.
Messiah that Moses, or that Abraham, rejoiced to see the day of."
I got you. So you also believe in nominal pre-existence? Is that what you mean?
That's right. That's right. Notional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, notional, nominal pre-existence. So when he says before Abraham came into existence, I am, which is genestai, right? Before Abraham came into existence, genestai, I am. That's speaking of nominal pre-existence. He just knew Jesus as a plan in his mind.
He was aware of the Messiah, of the coming Messiah.
If you
Was
read
he
the
aware
verse
of
before,
Abraham? Was he
it-
aware of Abraham and his plans and thoughts as well?
God, Yahweh, yes.
Okay, so then
Yahweh.
Jesus can't say before Abraham came into existence or before Abraham was I am, because Abraham would have also been in the mind of God simultaneously, right? Because God knows all things. So how can Jesus be before Abraham?
I'm the anointed one prior to Abraham's coming. They asked him,
Did-
"Are you greater than
He
Abraham?"
does a little
He
smirk from
said,
Albert,
"No,
bro.
before him." That's
No,
what-
Notice,
Got him.
they
notice how you're
asked,
moving
were
away.
you with
brother.
Abraham?
So
Sorry.
what you're now you're let me asserting
show
is
you
that
how-
when
let me
Jesus
show you
says
what this
before
turns
Abraham
into.
was I am,
Alright.
that means that he existed in the plans and thoughts of God. I just
That's
asked
right.
you if Abraham also existed in the plans and thoughts of God. You said yeah. So how can Jesus be before Abraham if Abraham would have also been existing simultaneously? Chosen one before Abraham. Was Abraham chosen? Now he starts saying about the Messiah being chosen. That's what it means. So I asked him, was Abraham chosen?
Born, I was the chosen one. Who's greater
Okay.
than who was the question.
So he was the chosen one before Abraham. Was Abraham chosen?
For a different purpose.
Okay, so
That is
everyone's
it.
chosen. Everyone also existed in the
Lord,
mind of
we've
God.
been-
So
Lord, we've
notice how
been
we
through
can do this
He's
about
the
everybody.
Messiah before he was born.
Now
So
look
we've
at
been
Now look at this. Now
But
he
we're
starts
talking
saying
about chronology.
Now he starts saying, well, it's because he was the anointed one before Abraham. So he was anointed before Abraham. That's what that's talking about, right? So then I'm asking him, so we're talking about chronology. How was he anointed before Abraham? How was he anointed before Abraham if he only existed in the mind of God? He was anointing his thoughts?
What? God knew
They
where
really
he was going to
tried.
be.
He
After
knew where
all
I was
said
going to
and
be.
done, at the culmination of times, Jesus
Now,
Christ is at the right
how
hand
does this
side, second
how
in
does this
command of the universe.
conversation finish
You
off?
tell me
My
what that
question is,
means.
with him
You think that was an
admitting
afterthought on God's
that
part?
Christ rules, that actually
See,
God, because then I asked him. So then I have another question. Why is it that he picked Jesus Christ out of all the human beings? Like, why did he predestine only one human being out of everyone? And I told him that's a new. You guys need to start new Calvinistic theology. Like, this is a new level of Calvinism, right? And then
God
and then he ends up admitting that actually Christ could have failed. Now watch.
programmed this.
God could have failed in saving us.
Well. Hypothetically, yes, absolutely. That's the whole glory of
What?
Christ. By his own
The
free will.
glory.
God bless you, brother.
Come on, give me. I mean, what's the
Oh,
other option, Sword? What's the other option?
sword. Sword.
That argument worked so good, bro. I'm telling you.
Wait, I need to look in my Bible. Where is it?
That thing ain't failed yet. I'm telling you. John 8:58 against a Unitarian running the nominal pre-existing argument is very problematic. Now, there's a few other texts that are very problematic for the Unitarian. Like John 3:13. And if you read it in King James or KJV, like the new KJV, it's even more cooked, dude. No one has ascended to heaven but he who came down from heaven, that is the Son of Man who is in heaven. Now, this is Christ speaking before his resurrection, before his ascension to heaven. Yet he is saying that no one has ascended except the Son of Man. So the Son of Man has already ascended and descended in the past. Who is in heaven? And this is before his resurrection. He's saying that he's already in heaven. He has already ascended and descended in the past. But how has he done that before his resurrection? Right? This is Christ speaking, by the way. This is not John quoting Christ in the future looking backwards. No, this is Christ speaking before the resurrection. He's saying that he has ascended in the past. No one has ascended to heaven but he who came down from heaven, that is the Son of Man, in the past.
Who is in heaven? So
Who is in heaven? Right?
Omnipresence, maybe? I don't know. I never really thought about
Exactly.
that. Okay.
Now,
wait. Oh. Okay.
a few little cheeky arguments that John presents.
These Unitarians, bro, they just say the weirdest things. Hypothetically, God can fail. So can I beat the Father in an arm wrestle? Hypothetically, you could.
Now, repeatedly, Christ starts making these "for I have come down from heaven" statements, right? Even the Jews get mad because he's saying that he has come down from heaven. And he says it again, I have come down from heaven. I am the living bread that came down from heaven. This is the bread that came down from heaven. And then you get to verse 62. Now, watch this problem for the Unitarian who believes that Christ only existed in the mind of God.
Oh, no.
The Son of Man says that, what if you were to see the Son of Man ascending to where he was before? So, where he was before would be in the mind of God. So, by that interpretation, the Son of Man is going to ascend back to the thoughts of God. And he's going to be existing only in the mind of God because he's going to go where he was before. Where was he before? In the mind of God. So the Son of Man is not going to go to sit at the right hand of God. He's going to go back and whoop, as a thought, where? In God's head, in God's thoughts. Because that's where he was before, right?
Does he say that in John 16 as well? Like, I go back to my Father or something like that? Not like John 20:17, but you know, that I go back to the Father or something like that, to Peter and the other disciples.
16. Is it 28?
Oh, yeah.
16:28.
I'm surprised I remembered that.
Now, The word there in 1628, ironically, is proston patera, right? I'm going to the Father, proston patera. Where do you see proston patera type of language? You see it in John 1, proston theon, right? He was with God, proston theon. Here it's proston patera. He's going to be with God. Now, the Unitarian would admit that here, proston patera, he is going back to be in a personal relationship with the Father. Yet in John 1:1, where it's proston theon with God, that's not a personal relationship, according to them. Yet the same language is being used. Not only that, the only other time we ever see proston theon used in the Gospel of John, we see it two places. We see it in John chapter 1, verse 1, enarhe ein halagos, kai halagos ein proston theon, with God. John 13:3 also uses proston theon, going back to God. So when he goes back to God, he's not going to be there as a person. He's going to be there as a thought, because it's the same word, proston theon. Right? So the Unitarian cannot be consistent in their exegesis. The only way they can make sense of John chapter 1, or sorry, the whole Gospel of John, is if they presuppose John chapter 1 is speaking of nominal preexistence, and then the rest of the statements where Jesus claims to be preexisting or preexistent are now interpreted in light of their false interpretation of John 1. So they have to presuppose John 1 to be Unitarian for them to be able to make sense of the rest of the Gospel of John. Because everything is then going to be nominal preexistence.
Why? Okay. Because I'm really trying to understand from their perspective. If Jesus was a thought before and he came down to be relational and he's going back up to the Father, why keep him around if Jesus is the Word and the Word is just God's plan? Why does he need to stay alive? Like, he did his job on the cross, and the Father can do all the other work because, according to them, he could sustain creation. He could do all that by himself. So why would he need Jesus? Where in the New Testament, we hear how Jesus sustains creation and does all this.
By the power of
Right.
his word.
Exactly. So why does he need you? Why can't he just put him back as a thought? It doesn't make
Well,
sense.
if he's going to go back to where he was before, then he is going back to be a thought. He's going to shrink up and go back into the mind of God. Because that's where he was before, wasn't he?
Oh no. Feel free to join,
Now,
Ruben. Honestly.
yeah, go ahead and joke. Is this brother, what is he? Oneness?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, bro. I'll
Now
post
we
the
need to
link
get
again.
back together, Ruben, because I find that what was it, 10-minute cross-examination was not fair. Honestly.
What, they cross-examined you?
Yeah, for our like little debate between each other.
Hmm.
I was trying to get
Come on up, brother.
some other oneness on his side, but I kind of forgot on the day of the event. Not event, debate. But it is what it is.
What argument would I want to run today against a oneness? There's a few little cheeky arguments.
I'll let try and send you this doc real quick.
Actually, the cheeky argument that I like running is I really like running 1 Corinthians 15, dude. It's so good. I like running Romans 8 too.
Flip a coin.
I like running running John 17, not verse 5 where he says now Father, glorify me with the glory that I had before you, but further down in John chapter 17.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Ms. Brenda, if you want to join, and if we're all just going to be respectful, then feel free. I mean, this is an open panel. Not really many people are up here. So if you want to join, then feel free, as long as we're all just chill, calm, and we're focused on scripture. That's about it.
This is a lady?
Yeah. If she's the
come on up.
one that I'm connecting it to, but yeah, I put in private chat like a little PowerPoint I'm making of oneness. What is it, dilemmas? Because Why not? Quoting scripture is not an argument. Even Aquinas knew this.
Well, I'll make an argument with the scriptures. I got one
Okay,
for you.
it's one thing to say the Trinity is logical, which it basically is in terms of just logic. But if the Bible is the word of God, then yeah, we trust it. And that's how God is. Brenta.
Brent A. Brent or Brent A.
I'll just call you
Brent.
Brent if you want me
Brent.
to.
You can come on up. I got a question for you.
I honestly don't mean any disrespect at all. You just clicked the link that he just posted.
What's going on, Scott?
What's up?
Let's go, bro. Some cheeky arguments.
Okay, yeah.
Sneaky little arguments.
Okay, you got this. You got the sword. That's apparently, I don't know if that's an agnostic or an atheist, but I don't deal with them. That is not my cup of tea. I'm good.
Who's an atheist?
Brent.
Oh, you don't believe in God. Okay. Well, you can come on up. It's kind of cold in my room, dude.
I mean, I don't know why you'd want to come up and try and tell us something we already know, that the Trinity doesn't logically follow.
There's multiple solutions to the logical problem of the Trinity at this point. At this point, even what do they call it? Relative identity has become very popular in the way they do that now. Like, so
I don't know. I think they just struggle with the fact that we can't make an analogy for it, like the perfect analogy.
how's it going, Brent?
Hey, I'm good. I'm actually driving at the moment, so I'm going to mute up and just listen in until I get someplace safe, okay?
Okay, well, let me know in the chat when you're ready. I'll drop it
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
Real quick, I want to apologize because I thought you were someone else from Mitch's channel that was named Brenda, so I thought you were the same. I didn't mean to call you a woman or anything. I'm sorry. Just my bad.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, there's a few things in John as like that are very tricky. For the oneness, even John 5 is tricky for the oneness. Like you've seen that one, John 5 and John 8.
Was it verse 22? Impossible.
Where is that? Let me see. Yeah. No, wait, I think it's before that actually. I've seen some stuff on here. They asked him, well, with my father is working until now, and I'm working. And with God. Marvel, for as the Father raises the dead and gives them life, for the Father judges no one, but is going to live into the Son.
Mitch.
This is the sequel of Mitch is in here.
No, not Mitch. I mean Sword. I got two
Oh.
you mixed up. Sorry. Do we diminish Jesus and the Holy Spirit and we call them the second, third person of the Trinity?
Depends on what you mean.
Like they're all
It's-
equal. They're all equal, but we just get the Father's the one first. Well, not like first, like in rank, but we go the Father is the first person, Jesus the second person, the Holy Spirit is the third person.
Yeah, that's a historical teaching. It can be used
Okay.
in an orthodox
Okay.
way.
Because people
It
say
just depends on what you mean.
people say we diminish Jesus because he's the second person of the Trinity. So
Who said that?
I'm not going to name names.
Oh, nah. It depends on what you mean. I mean, the
They
thing
know
is,
what
the reason.
they know what we mean by the second person of the Trinity, and their brains seem to turn off for some reason.
The thing is, even historically, they would say, "Oh, by the way, this is what I wanted to." This is the this is the preparation for John 8, John 8:16 and on. If I alone bear witness about myself, my testimony is not true. There is another who bears witness about me, and I know that the testimony that he bears about me is true. Right? That's the preparation for John 8. Right? Where John 8, Christ makes the argument appealing to two witnesses, right?
Yep.
So this is the preparation for that argument. Even in John 5, he already starts preparing that type of argumentation.
But hey, it's the flesh in the spirit. It's the flesh and the spirit.
Yeah, so if it's the flesh and the spirit, then all throughout the Old Testament, everyone could have been bearing witness about themselves. Well, Moses, what are you talking about? It's my flesh and my spirit. That's two witnesses.
Man, these arguments
Moses would have been like, you are right.
these arguments are so amateur, bro. These arguments are so amateur. Like, you cannot defend oneness, and you cannot, bro. Outside of ignorance, you cannot defend oneness.
I mean, you can. You just will struggle.
No,
A
you
lot.
can't defend it. You don't. If you want to, you can't. You just can't defend oneness. It's just nowhere in the scriptures. Not even.
Oh, scripturally. Oh yeah, I mean you can defend it logically, but in the Bible, most definitely not.
So right here, the flesh is hearing from the spirit.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Those are,
Christ has two minds.
yep, I guess so. I guess so. I guess so.
Yeah. John 5 is very, very problematic, man.
No, but
John 8 is super problematic. John 17 is super problematic. Even at the end of John 17.
Do you guys know that girl? Halal. I don't want to butcher her name. Like her name, like Halea Unitarian.
Halal Christian?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen her.
Horrible
I tried to
argument.
come up. I tried to come up on there to defend my Trinitarian beliefs, but she blocked me for some reason. I don't know why she blocked me, but
She's scared. She's scared of literally anybody, honestly. Like I was thinking about going up on her stream today, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna waste my time. Because one, she looked like she was half asleep. Two, she did not look focused. Three, I was not gonna waste my time.
Okay, we need somebody to come up though. Like I'm trying to have a conversation. This is crazy.
Right.
We need somebody up here.
Who's good at acting like a Unitarian?
I can act like one.
You gonna debate yourself, son?
I'm telling you, I can act like one pretty good.
The more I think about the oneness and Unitarianism, they literally had to make Islamic level arguments. They literally had to make Muslim arguments to defend their doctrine.
I want to see what you guys think about this.
What?
So I know this is a common passage that we like to use, right, as Trinitarians. Like we love using this passage when it comes to the angel of the Lord, saying that his name is in him and he also forgives sins, right? We love using this passage. Who was the one saying that my name is in him?
The Father.
Yeah, agreed.
So is the name the Father's primarily, meaning as the source?
Well, you could say Yahweh, that my name Yahweh is in the angel of the Lord.
Exactly. So this is why if you realize the monarchical position is the true position, and that's why they historically held to it, because here there is one who has that name as the source, who is then able to say, my name is in him. That would be the Father.
But agency, though. But it's agency, though. Agency.
Oh wait, I think I didn't bring this up, but I brought something like it where I asked Ruben, so you can call me Yahweh, right? And then he went on this whole thing like, well, I mean, it does say that we're made in his image, so you could say that we're his mini-me's.
We're many Yahwehs.
Exactly. It's like, well, you can call me Yahweh though, right? I mean, sure, but I don't. I
Hey,
don't
Truth, where
know.
you at, man? How's it going?
Was he here?
Yeah, your mic is muted, brother.
I
I
hope.
want to.
Yay!
I
I want
hope.
to
I
run a
hope.
new argument with
I
you,
hope.
Truth. I got a new argument I want to try.
I hope some people show up. I want to discuss with some oneness guys that I haven't had a chance to discuss with.
If only this were like Zoom, where you could have like different rooms for each other, and that'd be fun.
Especially, you guys know Bro Slim. I want to discuss it with him.
Slim's
Yep.
another beast, bro. And by beast, I mean he's a whole other issue. Not disrespectfully, but yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Every single time we say person, their brain seems to shut off for some reason.
uh, by the way, the interpretation the fathers give to Colossians 1:15 is very interesting. Colossians 1:15, the word image is obviously icon, right? EIKON, which we would translate as ICON, icon.
Yep.
Basil gives an interesting interpretation. So he gives this analogy. St. Basil says, let's say we are at a palace and we are walking down the hallway of the palace and we see an image of the king. He says, rightfully so, I can say, look, here's the king, and point at the image, right? Look, here's the king. Now, he says, would I be wrong in saying, look, here's the king? No, that's the king. He says, but as I am saying that, the king walks up and approaches us. He says, now when I see the king approach us, I start referring to him as the king and that as the image of the king. Right? So he says, likewise, we refer to the Son as God because he's God. He's the exact representation of his very being, as Hebrews 1:3 says, he's also the image of the invisible God. He says, but notice when Paul speaks of them jointly, he says, for there is one God the Father and one Lord. Blessings to you from God our Father and the Lord. Right? So he's saying that is not diminishing who Jesus is. We're just simply acknowledging that the prototype has now stepped into the conversation and Christ is the exact representation, meaning in being, he is of the same essence, eternal, all-powerful, omniscient, right? All of the omniproperty you want to describe. But he says, now we refer to him as the image of the king, which I think is a good analogy.
Mm. Well, I mean, he's a church father, so you'd expect him to be brilliant like that.
Yeah, he was goated when he said that. I was like, that's crazy. Truth,
Whoa,
where you at, brother?
Jesus,
Come
that's
on,
fair.
stop lagging out, man. You got to speak the truth. And here,
Lesser in what way, Neo? Where lesser? He's probably just gonna quote where it says that he was made lesser than the angels or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah, we can go to his incarnation. That's why he was made less than the angels.
truth, truthy.
Truthy is crazy.
I haven't talked to you in a while, brother. Since last time we talked. Last time you told us that Romans 9:5, Christ wasn't flesh.
Yeah, how do people get out of Romans 9:5, Hebrews 1, Colossians 1 and 2, Revelation? How do people escape that?
You lie.
Well, that's true.
Truth.
Or
Hey,
just
by
have
the
a
way, you're on the stage. I just don't have your camera activated. But you are on the stage. I just have your audio. I have trash internet, so I'm only gonna be. Okay, Brent is here.
Okay, Neo, what's your point? We're lesser, we're not out of time, where we live in it. I don't know if he's trying to talk about Jesus or something. I don't know.
Okay, how's it going, Brent? You're on the stage.
Hey, how's it going? Somebody had a question for me.
Yeah, you're an atheist, right?
Yes, I am. I mean, yes, I will call myself an atheist because that's probably the most easily understood term. Technically, I'm an atheist. Matter for the purposes of this conversation.
Why are you an atheist?
I don't find any good evidence to believe that God is real.
What about the transcendental argument?
Tag, I find tag to be one of the silliest things ever. I reject transcendental categories on their face. Transcendental categories don't exist. They're concepts.
So logic is a concept that just exists in someone's mind?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay, so whatever my mind predicates as logic, that's what
What do you
logic
mean by
is?
predicates? I'm sorry, what do you mean by predicates?
Whatever my mind says logic is, that's what logic is?
No, because we don't do these things in a vacuum. Our minds don't exist outside of our bodies. You always have to compare it to other physical things. In fact, that's where we derive the laws of logic from, as our observations of the natural world.
Okay, now how do you know that you can trust your observations? Have you heard of Hume's critique
Um,
of empiricism?
I haven't heard of Hume's critique of empiricism specifically, not recently. If I looked at it, it's probably been a couple years ago. Uh,
How
say
do
your
you
question
trust
one more
your
time.
how do you trust your sense data?
I
How do you
trust
know
my
that
sense
what
data.
how do you know that what you're perceiving is actually accurate?
Yeah, I am assuming that my senses correlate to some degree with what is real in the natural world. Now, if you want to say, well,
So
you can't
so
have
you
a
use
such thing.
so
I really wasn't finished, but that's okay. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Sorry.
No, no, please.
No, go ahead and finish.
No, no, please. Clearly,
All
I have
right.
to clear
So
something up. So go ahead.
you're assuming that your perception of the outside world, which is also a metaphysical claim, by the way, you're assuming that that is accurate. So assumption meaning you have confidence. Do you have confidence that it's real?
Yes.
So you have faith, right?
No, because faith and confidence don't mean the same thing unless you're going to equivocate on the definition of faith.
What is the root of the word confidence? Where does it come from?
Yeah, that's actually a etymology fallacy. The origin of the word isn't the definition of the word, so I'm not really going to go there either. It's not very interesting.
What does confide mean?
I don't care because the
With
origin of the
faith.
word,
So with faith,
origin. I'm not done, and you keep doing this, and it's starting to piss me off, and I'll just hang up if that's better. So you're making
you
the
cut me
error
off.
of thinking that okay, bye.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead. It's not
I was
gonna
just
work
scrolling.
here.
I was just scrolling through
We
my
were just
phone, bro.
getting started, man. We were just getting started.
What's going on?
Yeah. Atheism is very easy to deal with. Did you realize?
To annoy? Maybe, I don't know.
Why? Because they can't justify anything that they claim. Any metaphysical assumption that they have, like them appealing to their senses and their perception of the external world, they can't justify their perception. All I have to ask is, how do you trust your perception? How do you know that what you're perceiving is accurate? On top of that, you're appealing to something, the outside world, as if it actually exists. How do you know it actually exists? How do you know you're not hallucinating?
How do you know anything?
Exactly. That's atheism. You don't know anything. And he didn't like it because I asked him if he had faith. The word faith comes from the Latin confide, with faith.
Mm.
He says it's an etymology fallacy. No, that's
Sure,
literally where
buddy.
it comes from. I love it. That's why when I see atheists in the chat, I know that this is not, you know, a panel against atheism, but I like dealing with atheists because it reminds me of this encounter that I had with a friend at work, and he's a nihilist.
Oh.
He told me, I asked him, "Hey, so what are you, bro?" He said, "I'm a nihilist." And then I turned to him and I asked him, and I told him, "Brother, I'm gonna be honest, that is the most consistent atheistic position." And he got offended that I said that. I said, "Well, I'm gonna be honest, you as an atheist, that should be your position. Who cares, bro? Who cares what happens? You have no justification for the laws of logic. You have no justification for morality. You have no justification for any sort of category. You heard him say it. These things are not transcendental categories. They just exist in your mind." And I said, "So logic is whatever my mind makes up?" And then he said, "Well, no, because it has to conform to reality." Well, now you're appealing to a whole bunch of metaphysical claims that you have no justification for. How do you know reality exists? How do you know the outside world actually has any ontology? How can you trust your senses? This is the Humean critique of empiricism, right? Why do you keep joining now, Brent? because you already kind of got real mad, brother.
I just tried joining again, Ruben. And Prophet Muhammad, be careful how you use the Bible, bro. Remember what your Quran says about it. You can't attack it.
Truth, you hear? I tried to come up, but got cut off. I didn't cut anyone off.
Run
Only
away. What do you mean run away? I'm pretty sure you're the one who hung up. No disrespect at all.
you're the one that knew where this was going, so you had to tap dance. What do you mean, Brent? You started manifesting in 2 minutes.
2 minutes. I was keeping track. Oh my goodness, bro.
You started manifesting so fast. You thought, oh, the transcendental argument, that's such a silly argument. But then when you get tested by the transcendental argument, not such a silly argument, is it?
Just need one. Getting emotional.
Truth, bro. Where you at, bro? Truthy. Where you at, my bro? What's up with my Greekish little buddy? Daniel Ben Daniel. Daniel, the son of Daniel.
I'll do my best to get more atheists in here for you. Okay, well, I can't even say that because you don't believe in God, so.
You're going to get more atheists in here to tell me how logic is just something that our mind comes up with? So if that's the case, what if my mind says, this bookmark I have is logic? Is it logic? That's the silliness of that argument.
How's the Greek going today? What kind of question is that?
I don't know. Okay, but we need one more up here. You want to come up, Danny? Danny boy? Bring up Danny boy up in here, man.
Neo. No, not Neo. Brent. This is common saying that patience is a virtue. I think it's pretty honest. I think it's a pretty good one.
Notice when you said I cut you off the first time, I stopped talking and I wanted to let you go. So,
Well, he gets a I'm not gonna say. Let me walk in the fruits of the spirit. Let me not go after atheist. Let me not make
interrupting people isn't winning. It's just rude.
We interrupt each other all the. That is a part of human nature.
Why?
Sadly.
Hey, Brent. Here's the question for that, though, brother. As an atheist, why do you care? I'm just I have a
How do you
monkey
know what
brain,
winning is?
and my monkey brain is causing me to think like this. I'm a product of evolution, and I just have chemical reactions in my brain. I can't help it.
Exactly. You don't know what
I don't know how to behave better. I have a monkey brain.
I have a monkey brain. Where you interrupted me every single time because you cannot stand to hear anyone other than yourself speak. I mean, you wouldn't allow Scott and I over here if that were true.
Hey, Brent, why do you care? What is humility? Who cares about humility, brother? You're an atheist.
It's very unchristian. You don't even know what Christians believe. I doubt you know our book. He's probably gonna say, "Oh, well, guess what? I was raised in Christian school and this, that, and the other."
No, it doesn't make you Christian, buddy.
You don't know anything about us. I'm a monkey, sure, Neo. If that's what you want to identify as. Go for it.
Here's the thing, Brent. We already brought you up. You manifested in 2 minutes, brother. 3 minutes down the line, you would have probably been cussing me out and saying all kinds of inappropriate words. If in 2 minutes you started manifesting, 30 more seconds, we are in a dangerous situation.
Monkeys can learn new things, right?
But I can't blame you.
mean,
That's just
that's,
monkey brain.
that's what we're doing.
Do you have a source that monkeys can learn new things? I would like to hear that source.
How do you know what a monkey is, Brent? Honestly, because according to me, this pen is a monkey. So do we have two different definitions of monkeys? I can write with my monkey. Can you write with yours?
I use my monkey to keep track of what page I'm on.
Bro, I have a IQ room temperature. Yo, Neo, what are you saying, bro?
I'm not bringing you up, Brent. Bro, why would I bring you up? We already saw what happened.
Going to straw man me too.
It's not a straw man. It's actually the truth because the outside world has no actual ontology, right? It's just whatever I sense that the outside world is. That's what the outside world is, because the outside world, I cannot justify the existence of the world around us. I can't trust my senses because I can't justify my senses.
Brenta, well, every person will be judged what they say. So cursing, especially us confessing Christians, we will be judged for what we say.
In context, that yeah, sometimes depending on what
You're
it is.
using an
Truth, where have you been?
equivocation. Now watch this. You're using an equivocation fallacy, which is not that interesting. So you're appealing to the laws of logic. I thought the laws of logic had no existence other than in my brain. When you appeal
Oh,
to an equivocation fallacy, you're appealing to the laws of logic. You have no justification for the laws of logic. So what are you talking about equivocation fallacy?
may
I
I
thought the laws
offer?
of logic were just whatever my brain said. So again, this is what I think the laws of logic are. This bookmark.
That's a monkey.
Equivocation fallacies. You haven't justified the laws of logic. You haven't justified logic.
May I
But
offer a suggestion?
why is
Crazy.
everything a fallacy these days? Every word is a fallacy.
The
I
hat
don't want to hear
fallacy.
atheists talk about fallacies because they can't justify the laws of logic.
I
And
thought
you need
forgiveness was
logic
a
to be able to
Christian
speak about fallacies.
Sorry. Because you're scared. I know the truth. There is no truth according to you. Nothing is true. You want to talk about, oh, you're interrupting me. That's rude. How do you know
Bro, Brent,
what's rude? You can't prove that.
if you did so well, why are you in here coping? If you had the argument, why are you in here coping?
I mean, you could just go, leave, chill with your
Yeah.
wife and
Who
kids.
cares?
Because we're just some idiots. I mean, if there's no God, then we're going into nothingness. So let us chill and have our time.
Hey, truth, come up again, bro, and then let me see if I can bring you up here.
Yeah, I'm not a Christian, so I won't be judged.
Oh, yes, you will. Yes, you will. And trust me, it won't be.
Not according to Paul, you won't. You will. I mean, obviously, everyone stands before his judgment. So I'm pretty sure you're one of the people that Proverbs 14:1 talks about. That I'll give you my paraphrase. That only idiots say that there is no God. So objectively, you are an idiot. Respectfully, and that's from God. So I can't really.
Respectfully, though, very respectfully.
Yes, that's how concept work. Sort of like how a circle doesn't exist, but the concept of a circle does. It's not that hard. Brenton,
No,
I
it
don't
is
even
very
think
hard.
you know what you're saying. I don't even think you understand.
Hey, it is very hard because so if circle is whatever I say a circle is, then this bookmark is the circle. That's the point. Oh my gosh, man.
No one's really
Equivocation
actually
fallacy. Then you appeal to the laws of logic that you haven't justified.
This is pretty bad. It's okay,
No,
children.
I don't want to bring you back up, Brent. You're coping and you're manifesting. That shows that you have no emotional control. But then again, we do have a monkey brain. Daniel, how's it going, brother? Yeah, yeah. How's it going, brother? Daniel, I've never understood. So, can you tell me what your position is, Daniel?
My position?
Yeah. Like,
Religion.
what are you? Are you oneness?
I don't think so. If you basically use the term messianic, that's about as close as you can get to, I
So,
guess.
what's good, Thomas?
What's up?
Scholastic.
He's
Scholastic.
basically his
Scholastic.
son.
I rebranded. Yo, how do I mute Discord calls?
No.
The fuck?
So-
I forgot you were a child.
So Dan, so yeah, so are you a oneness?
No, I would say somewhere in between the three pillars and oneness. Yes.
And we could just ask how he defines God. Like, I'm sure since he follows the Bible that he would say the Father is God. So how does the Father relate to the Son, Jesus?
Just that his son, the one that's with him, who's inherited the rule.
Okay.
Okay, so Jesus is not the Father. Oh, no, not 15. So Jesus is not the Father, not the same person?
Not if you're using the title Yahweh, no.
Okay. So, and what about the Holy Spirit? Is it a force, the Father's presence, a distinct person, or?
That's just Yahweh's spirit.
What does that mean?
To me, just that I don't look into it as in a separate being or anything.
Is the Spirit alive?
Well, as a living God, and if you have a spirit, yeah, you could say he's alive.
Okay, so the Father's presence. And would you just last question before I hand it back to Sword and Thomas? Would you say that Jesus is God, or
God is a loose term that, in your terms for what you believe God is, yeah, you could say that. But if you're referring to God as in God Most High, then no. God is a title that I wouldn't limit to just three things.
so he's divine? Okay, you got
Does the
it.
Spirit have a will?
He gives you it makes your will be God's will. So
Does the Spirit himself have a will?
hang on a minute. Does the Spirit himself have a will?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say no, because it's not a separate entity.
All right. All right. I want to see what you think about this one. Likewise, the Spirit helps us in our weakness. Which Spirit is this that helps us in our weakness?
God's Spirit.
Okay. For we do not know what to pray for as we ought to, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us. Now, let me ask you. If the Spirit intercedes for us, like Christ, for example, Christ intercedes for us to someone else, right?
Intercedes. Can you elaborate more on that?
To be interceding or to be an intercessor, you have to be interceding for someone to someone, right? Like an advocate.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so here the Spirit intercedes. Who is he interceding from, and who is he, or for, and who is he interceding to?
And well, from God to whoever's in the Spirit, or if that person's in God's Spirit, he can show that to another.
You kind of like pulled away from the mic. I couldn't really hear you, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to talk quiet.
So who is the Spirit interceding for?
Well, if the Spirit is directed
It's right here.
from God, God's interceding. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. So is the Spirit interceding for us?
Yeah, from God to us, or it could be someone who's in God's Spirit interceding for another one. Pour out the Spirit.
Okay, so the Spirit intercedes for us. Who is he interceding to? or towards?
Well, if it's well, God, of course.
So the Spirit has a separate person that he is interceding because he intercedes for the Christians to God, right? So he himself is standing in between, interceding, making intercession and groaning. How does the Spirit groan?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Personification, brother.
Words. Couldn't tell you. Really.
That's an interesting thing, huh? Now, do you think the Spirit has a mind?
I instantly go to where God tried to speak to Israel, and it was inaudible. It was driving them crazy, but he tried to speak directly. I don't know. That's, you know what I mean?
Do you think the Spirit has a mind?
Has a mind? Not of its own. Not of its own. It's God's mind. Let me ask you a question. What is this?
Do you think this would be consistent with the previous verse that is saying that the Spirit is actually interceding for us? And you admitted earlier on that when the Spirit intercedes, or when anyone intercedes, he is interceding for someone to someone, as Christ intercedes for us to the Father. Right? So here the Spirit is the one that is making intercession. Another example, Abraham intercedes for Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? He intercedes for Sodom and Gomorrah to God. Bunch of heretics, he said.
Coming from the same guy who's scared to join the panel. Oh my goodness.
There's something going on in the comments right now.
Yeah, just the same Unitarian.
Andrew,
but if
Andrew,
you mean interceding as just
hey,
a
Andrew,
of community,
is this gonna be round 3, bro? If it's gonna be round 3, I got some more questions for you. I got some more. I want to make some more clips.
What is
that's the guy you whooped? That's him?
Oh, yeah, that's Andrew Griffin.
Oh, he did you dirty, my boy. I'm not going to lie.
What is the Spirit to a normal Christian? Let's say it.
Oh, sorry.
The Spirit of God, who intercedes for us.
What? How do you know that? How will you know if you're walking in a statute? How will you know that you're walking with it?
Him.
Brother, but what does that have to do with the questions we're asking?
Because you're trying to put a being on it. I pull up Ezekiel 11, 19, and 20. It tells you exactly what the Spirit will do for you and how to test if you're in the Spirit.
That has nothing to do with the questions that we're asking. Like, the question that we're asking is, how is the Spirit interceding for us? Because intercession implies interceding for someone to someone else.
Well, as Ezekiel 11 will tell you, that it will make you walk in his statutes. That's the interceding.
Amen.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what Romans says as well. I don't see your point.
Okay, so do you want to go to another text then, apart from this one?
It makes you want to keep his rules and obey them, and the Spirit shall be my peoples, and I will be, and I will be their God, which is Yahweh, by the way.
Okay, the Spirit is Yahweh. Nice.
So it tells you right there, straight up. So any interceding going on is between you and God, or could possibly be when you're in his Spirit, you're walking in his rules, his regulations, you've put your heart on, that you can pour out this Spirit to others.
We're probably gonna have to move on from this verse because
well, I'm telling you,
we're going somewhere else, brother. Okay, I got another question for you. Okay, see what you think about this one.
I was just cooked y'all how?
Okay. Bro just cooked y'all. Yeah, he did. I agree. Now,
you two got baked.
Yo, Thomas, you're here too, bro. You on our side.
1 Corinthians 15:28. When all things are subjected to him, then the Son himself will also be subjected to him. Who is the him that the Son himself will subject himself to? So who is this him? This is the Son, right?
Sure.
Okay, then the Son himself will also be subjected to him. Who is the Son subjecting himself to?
God, Most High.
Most High.
And he will put all
Hims-
things in the subject under him, that God may be
Yeah.
all in all.
Yeah, so himself, this himself is distinct from this him?
That the Son will put himself in to be subject to him. Who's he going to be subjective to? Who's Messiah subjective to? That would be God. And then God may be all in all.
Answer the question, brother. Respectfully. Himself, the Son himself will also subject himself to him. Is the himself distinct from the him?
Is the Son distinct from the Father? Yes.
Is the himself distinct from him?
Are you talking about this as what? What are you trying to get at? Because it just says...
If you answer, you'll see what I'm getting at.
Talking about God. Yeah, we're talking about God. He's being subjective to him.
So you would agree, yes or no, that himself is distinct from him? From the him that he's being subjected to? The himself is distinct from the him, right?
They're in alignment, Ecod, so I guess, yeah, whatever you're trying to get at. Doesn't mean anything, but go ahead.
I'm asking a very simple question, and you will see where I'm trying to go. If you would answer this simple question,
it's an illogical question when we were talking about the Son and the Father. So where are you trying to get at in your theology?
the Son himself will also be subjected to him. I'm going to ask it again. Is the himself distinct from the him that he's being subjected to?
Is the Son subjected to the Father? I don't know what you're trying to get at. It makes no sense. It's illogical.
You would see if you would answer the question. I'm going to ask you one more time. If not, brother, we're probably going to have to move on.
Move on, because
answer with himself. Is the himself distinct from the him?
What do you think?
I'm asking you, brother.
I just told you it's the Son and the Father. Is that distinct or not?
Yeah, but is the himself distinct from the him?
Okay, you just answered it for me. Thank you.
So you're not going to answer. All right. Well, God bless you, Mr. Dan.
It's a Greek theology that's got you blinded, brother.
It's Greek theology, but I'm reading English.
I got a question. Oh, wait, he's still here. My fault.
No, go ahead.
All right, Dan. May the Lord bless you, brother.
Okay, I do got a question. What do you think about wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Nope.
Number one, is my mic okay?
Yeah.
Define okay.
Okay, number two, have you heard about William Lane Craig's view on the Trinity? What do we think about that one?
I have his view actually here. Have you seen his book?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, isn't that his volume of philosophy?
Yeah, so this one is it's Craig, it's Tuggy, it's Bo Branson, and I forgot the other guy's name. I've only read Tuggy's and Bo Branson's mainly. But I forgot what he says. What does Craig say? What is his motto?
He'd say that the Trinity is a being with three self-centers of
Oh,
consciousness.
yeah. No, that's crazy.
Some of his takes seem like tritheistic.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was thinking about critiquing him, but then I realized he has like an entire team that responds to people's critiques. And it's like a lot of the times when they do it, they don't even like get to the point. They talk about like their new programs that they have going on.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. That's a definitely ahistorical. You don't see that ever taught.
He argues from the Bible, brother. That's what he said in his debate with Muhammad Hijab. Muhammad Ajab was like, "You disagree with the church fathers," and he was like, "I don't care about the church fathers."
Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know what to say to that.
Through the sun? I don't know. Maybe.
It's eternal manifestation.
Okay, we have anybody else, a oneness or Unitarian? Andrew, unless you want round 3, I got more questions for you. You know, I always have questions for you, Andrew.
Where did Truth go? He was just
Hey, look,
here.
Hey, look, SOA.
Yo, where's Mitch at, bro? We need Mitch back.
He's right there. What do you mean?
That's not Mitch, bro. Calm down.
That's his co-host. That's good enough.
I'll be Espada Jr. today.
Espada Jr.
Or Sword Jr.
So, oh my goodness. We're not doing this again, Thomas.
Put a baby face filter on him.
I don't think that's necessary. You already look like you're 12. Let's be honest.
Bruh. Why do you have to do me like that, bro? So I was chilling here till you said that.
You're the one who talked
Now I'm
about
mad.
putting on a baby face. Too deep fried
ideas. Wait, hold on. Andrew,
Wait, there's only three.
backtrack
Wait,
what
there's
you
three of
said.
us.
Hey, because he can't see. He can't
Oh.
see you. Yeah. So wait, hey, Andrew, you're gonna backtrack what you said, bro. You said your Trinity is the most coherent position. Remember that? You gonna backtrack that now, brother?
Or is
Come
there a
on, man.
trinity of y'all?
When you tried gaslighting us into debating.
Yeah.
3-on-1 doesn't seem
You
fair.
disagree with him. You disagree with him.
That was crazy.
3-on-1 doesn't seem very fair now, does it?
So what's the qualitative identity problem of the Unitarians? Run that by me real quick.
Yeah, the problem is that they have to play metaphysical games. They can't say straightforward that God is the Father. Because if they go by Leibniz's identities, any property that is true of God has to be true of the Father. But God is eternal, yet the Father is something that is contingent, as he said. So that means fatherhood spawns up at a point in time when he becomes a father. So therefore, according to Leibniz, they're not identical. So the Unitarian brings the Father down to predication, the Son down to predication, and the Holy Spirit down to predication. So for the Unitarian, we don't know who God is by identity, by strict Leibnizian identity. Because God is only the Father by predication, the Son is God by predication, the Holy Spirit is God by predication. We don't know who God is.
Dude, SOA, I do not have the entire dictionary memorized.
Are you sure?
I just read a lot of Joe Schmid. No, I'm joking.
Bro.
Dude, have you heard of what's it called? I'm sure what's his name has, Sword has. Have you heard of like existential inertia thesis?
This is what I'm talking about. You just get
No, it's like
to a point.
so there's this argument that Aquinas had called the de ente argument, and it's basically like essence and existence are distinct. Existence must be given by something external because you can't give yourself existence because you would have already existed, and thus there must be a higher member down the chain whose essence is existence. There's like philosophers like Joe Schmid that would just say that existence it can be caused temporally, so like accidentally, and continue on until something moves to destroy it. So it's kind of like Newtonian inertia, where they say like motion would continue unless friction or gravity destroys it. We'd say that God continues all things in existence. They'd say that existence keeps on going until something moves to destroy it.
That's interesting. I have to read more Aquinas. I haven't read enough of Aquinas. I don't even have any books from Aquinas. I don't have the Summa. I don't have any of that. The only things I have read is like snippets on PDFs and stuff like that.
Start with his compendium.
I'm gonna be honest. I have to get through Nissa's letter.
Palamas.
I do have to get through Palamas. I started Palamas. I have to get through Eunomius, Nissus against Eunomius. I have to get through St. John of Damascus. I have to get through Palamas. I have to get through St. Maximus. I have to get through. Oh my gosh, bro! Let me show you.
This guy's orthomaxing.
I have so many books that I have to get through right now, bro. I've gotten through so many of them, but really, I want. So, by the way, what do you think about this? Thomas. Do I call you Thomas still or what?
Nah, you can just call me Scholastic.
Scholastic. Okay. What do you think about prior to Nicaea and also afterwards, right after Nicaea, like Ambrose and Hilary and these guys and Jerome? When you read a lot of the scholarship, these guys were actually very monarchical.
Do they believe that life was passed down in the Trinity through the Father?
Yeah, the Father is the source. Actually, they defended the monarchy of the Father. There was only one who was one of the 4 Western fathers, the big ones, that questionably wasn't monarchical, and that was probably due to his lack of Greek knowledge, and that was Augustine. But if you read Hilary, if you read Jerome,
Hilary and
Ambrose,
yeah, well, we are, well, not in the sense that you are, but we do uphold the monarchy of the Trinity, because the divine being, or just the essence, is poured out from the Father, but we'd still say that the Spirit proceeds from the Father and the Son. I think Hilary of Poitiers somewhere would say from the Father through the Son, and that could be a hint at eternal manifestation. I don't know, because Boethius, the person, so Aquinas in his Summa, and in I think it would just be his Summa, because Contra Gentiles is his positive theology. I think in his Summa he quotes Hilary and Boethius a lot. He quotes all 3 of them a lot, and somewhere I think he quotes Hilary somewhere within the procession of the divine persons in question 29. Forgive me if I'm.
The thing is, as monarchical Trinitarians, we can affirm that. I mean, there's plenty of monarchical Trinitarians that affirm that the Holy Spirit is from the Father through the Son. I've heard plenty of monarchical Trinitarians say that.
Yeah, that's not. I never said that was like against y'all's position. I know that's actually fully for y'all's position. That's why I said that. I mean, that could be a hint at eternal manifestation. That's actually what I'm working through right now. I'm looking at filioque and papacy, because obviously I want the fullness of the truth. Obviously, dude.
Then you need to you need to read your favorite. You need to read your favorite theologian of all times, Saint Photius.
Wait, who's the guy who went against him? Who's the guy who went against him? Wait, what was his name? Who's the guy who went against Photius? Wait, who went against Photius? Ignatius. Wait a second.
Okay, I wouldn't say we're heretics to each other. That's stretching it a bit.
Wait, who said there? Who said that are heretics to each other?
Unitarian apologist.
I wouldn't say
that.
I
would never call him a heretic at all.
Dude, no, I wouldn't call this guy a. Your mic's off, by the way.
Yeah. So, if you read now, for those that claim that the fullness or the deity of Christ was established at Nicaea, which is crazy for people to claim things like that, right? Because right off the bat, Ignatius in his letter to the Ephesians, bro, in the prologue, this dude starts talking about how the Son is God, with the fullness of the Word. Ignatius is tough in his letter to the Ephesians. of course, Tertullian, which people would debate on what Tertullian meant about persona. But I think, I'm gonna be honest, I think that every Christian that holds to the hypostatic union needs to read this book, bro.
What is this?
This
I
is
can't
this
see it.
is
It's inverted.
okay. This is Saint Cyril of Alexandria, right? He's obviously the one that defended the hypostatic union in the Theotokos.
Are you wait, Oriental?
No,
Okay.
Lord forbid.
Because I think some people would say he taught Miaphysitism and Diaphysitism, Physitism. I might be pronouncing that wrong, bro.
Miaphysitism.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he says Miaphysis to Theu Logos Archomena. He says one incarnate nature of the word.
Incarnate. Yeah. Yeah.
But in the context of what he
I
is
wouldn't say
saying,
it's wrong.
in the context of what he is saying, he's not speaking of what we would think of as essence, nature, vocabulary. The point that he is making throughout his defense against Nestorius, he's wanting to focus on the single subjectivity of the divine word. So when he says
Yeah.
so he says mia physis to Theu Logos Archomene, physis, he's speaking of the outward visible representation of the divine logos, the understandable representation of the divine logos. He's saying that's one because he believes in one subject.
And because isn't that how he explained that Christ is most properly called, or sorry, Mary's most properly called Theotokos?
Yep.
I almost said Christ was called Theotokos. Gosh.
Dang, Andrew,
Dude,
bro.
that one Muslim guy, I went back and looked at a video of this Muslim guy asking me questions. And you were on here, by the way. He was like, are the persons of the Trinities satisfiers of forms of the domain? And I was like, beforehand, he asked me if I held that within like the essence, when was it an is of identity? And I told him it was identity. And he asked me qualitative or give me the word, sword. Give me the word. Real identity. I don't know what he said. But I said real, which means I believe that they're all fully the essence. And he went back to asking me that question as if I hadn't already answered him. It was weird because I already said that if domain represents essence, then they're all the domain.
Yeah.
And he started like asking like if they were satisfiers of forms in the domain. And I said, bro, after that, because everybody was talking at the same time, I left, but I'll look back on it and I'm like, dude, this guy just asked me the same question twice.
He posted it on YouTube, my discussion with him, which he thinks, I don't know if he thinks he got something, because I had to explain to him the meaning of Tropen modes over and over, because he kept saying, I was like, bro.
Wait, what's his name?
I forgot, but I saw it because he added me in his title. But he kept saying that tropes is talking about the category, which of course is referring to the category, but it's not just the category. It's how the category is instantiated, right? Meaning it's not instantiated spatial temporally, meaning me and you, we have the same nature, but we have different instances of that nature because we are separated by space and time. So we have different instantiations of that nature.
Distinct, yeah.
Exactly. So in the Godhead, there is no spatial temporal separation. So there is one instantiation of the divine essence. That's a trope. One trope. Right? So he kept saying category. It's one category. Well, brother, we share one category, but we're not one trope. That's the point that I'm getting at. And
they really try comparing the Trinity to humans too much.
Yeah.
Well, we're same nature, 3 persons. I'm gonna not tell you that we're 3 beings for the sake of this analogy, but 3 on not 3 gods. Watch, he's gonna pull that out. On not 3 gods.
Yeah.
On not 3 gods. Yeah.
look.
Dude, wait. I didn't read through it completely. How did he defeat said analogy?
So the objection brought to Anissa is, if we have 3 distinct persons with one nature, why can't we say why do we say that these are three humans, meaning human is the nature? But when it's referring to God, you have three persons and one nature, but you don't say three gods, right? That's the question being brought up to Gregory of Nyssa. Well, Nyssa says, first of all, we have a problem not just in your understanding, but in the way you're using language. He says, why? Because if I say SOA and sword are two humans, I'm really referring to hypostasis, but in the language, I'm referring to nature unknowingly. Right? Because I'm saying two humans, that's speaking of the human nature. Right? So Nyssa is saying, you guys are making an error even in your language. Because if I say these are two men, well, I'm referring to the nature. I'm not referring to the hypostasis, because the hypostasis would be the individual. So first of all, there is your first problem, that you're using language incorrectly. Now he says, now I'm fine with you using language incorrectly when you're referring to persons, but the human beings. But the moment you start referring to God, you cannot use this incorrect language, right? You're now going to have to start explaining and speaking hypostatically, right? Because you're not going to say two gods, just like you would say two persons, because person refers to nature. So first he starts making a language argument, saying that our usage of person, our usage of men is incorrect, because man refers to nature. So we would say two men, but that's actually incorrect, because it's not two men, right? There's only one nature of men. One man refers to nature. And then he makes that same type of argumentation, which is that there's actually one action, one energy. He starts making a type of essence energy distinction argumentation, because he says there's only one act, one savior. We don't have three saviors. We have one savior, because there's one salvific act.
Yeah.
So he kind of resolves it by counting, not by identity, but by division. Right? He says,
I've heard about that. There's like in orthodox apologetics, like a lot of the times they'll be asked if you count by like identity or division, or maybe it's multiplication or division.
Division.
But like they'll ask, yeah. So what is that?
Yeah, so counting by identity would be when you're referring to a logical subject. So yeah, it would just be your typical subject, whatever you can refer to that is distinct from another subject, logical subject. But when you're counting by identity, it's not that easy. What is this guy Andrew in here saying, bruh? Counting by division. Do you know that you count by division and you don't even know it? Now imagine Jesus and the apostles trying to explain to the Jews about nominal preexistence and how that's how he existed before Abraham. But anyways, so when we say counting by division, the analogy that Bo Branson makes is the clay analogy, which is a very common. It's not, he doesn't make that. Everybody uses that analogy. So you have this one instantiation or one trope of clayness, and then you have this lump of clay that then you turn into a statue, a clay statue. You would say that the clay statue, if you're counting by identity, would be different than the lump of clay, right? Because of properties. Nonetheless, there's one instantiation of clayness, right? That would be counting by division, because you can't divide the clay statue from the lump of clay. So that would be counting by division, because it's only one instantiation of clayness, right?
Yeah. I see.
Brother, they understood notional preexistence, but tell a Jew that Christ notionally preexisted before Abraham, he would tell you, are you crazy? Abraham was also in the mind of God. Eternally. But anyways. No, yeah. I keep trying to call you Thomas, bro.
Bro, I know I had to rebrand it. I felt like it was corny just being called classical Thomas.
Scholastic. Right, that's gonna be
Yeah.
Praise to the okay.
Bro, you can just say verum or truth.
Verum. All right. So I wonder. I wonder how how the Thomists think about this, because I know that Thomists, absolute divine simplicity and the such, and that they
Mhm.
will say that any sort of distinction that can be thought of that is not absolutely identical to the other would cause compositeness, right?
Wait, say that again?
So any distinction within God that we can think of, because obviously Thomas Aquinas would say that anything that we're trying to assimilate to God is distinct, because we can have distinctions and properties, but in God that doesn't work the same way. He is absolutely
Yeah.
So it seems like the Thomists would then say that any distinction in God causes compositeness, right?
It depends what you mean by like distinction in God. Because of how relation works within Aristotle's categories, they have their SAN and their SA odd. And I'm sure I have to tell you what that is, or like do you know?
No, tell me.
So the SAN is basically just their essence in general, obviously. So that, namely, the divine nature, and their SA odd is their I guess you could say it's their movement towards another in relation. So they have what the relation is based in, namely the divine essence, and what the relations move toward, namely each other. So when we talk about like distinctions, like in God, we wouldn't say that they're distinct from God. We can say they're distinct from each other, but not from the essence itself, because to say composition, we'd have to say that they would not be the divine essence wholly and entirely.
Yeah. So then I hope I'm not trying to get into a debate about, but I'm just trying to really understand.
No, bro, I don't want to debate you. I do not really do interfaith debates unless it's
But
I'm
I'm
I
curious.
found like some good points against Calvinism. Yeah.
As a Thomist,
Yep.
that's crazy, because
Oh,
you know Aquinas and his double predestination.
bro, whoa, chill. He did teach double predestination. To say that his double predestination is the same as Calvin's is crazy.
Hey,
Aquinas did not teach equal ultimacy.
yeah, I hear that. So Calvin didn't either. That would be
No,
that
you're
would be
right, but
Beza.
he did.
Theodore Beza, the one after Calvin, did teach that. Dang, I just whipped
Yeah,
that wine bottle out
bro,
right there.
we'd say that we'd still have free will, and I'm pretty sure I might be wrong on this because I have not read the Institutes.
I have them right there.
That we would say that there's predestination before consideration of merit. You've read everything, bro. What is wrong with you?
Yeah. If you watch a lot of Thomists nowadays, they are admitting, and I actually saw, I forgot which Thomist was doing like tier rankings and soteriological systems and belief systems, and he actually put Calvin S tier as a Thomist.
He put Calvin S tier?
And it's a famous YouTuber. I forgot his name, but he put Calvin S tier because he said that when he looks at Aquinas and his soteriology, he sees why the Calvinists are very Western unknowingly.
Oh my, who does that, bro?
I'm telling
you, there's a difference between
I'm not talking about
Thomas Aquinas and evil penal substitutionary atonement. Like,
well, penal substitutionary atonement is different, but I'm talking about in so far as predestination.
They are similar in some aspects, not in every aspect though, but I wouldn't rank Calvin in as just based off of predestination alone. That guy's getting a solid D to an E. I wouldn't say he's completely F. I don't think this man was out for any bad intentions.
Do you agree that it's Western where Calvin is getting this from, like Augustine?
Yeah, it is Western.
Yeah, it's definitely not Eastern.
Because Calvin in like any Presbyterian or any sort of reform you can think of, Redeem Zoomer, they're gonna end up quoting Augustine, but like I think their quotations of Augustine are stupid because they're gonna like smother this guy on with quotes on predestination, but then when it comes to justification, it it they don't like him very much, and when it comes to other things, they don't like him very much because there's like more Thomists like Wagner releasing like multiple live streams about him refuting them on justification, imputation. Like one of the reformers, one of the scholastics had written, I love Augustine, but he's a little bit off on justification. I think he worded something wrong. Like,
Yeah.
bro, what's going on?
But the Reformed tradition does stem from the Western understanding of predestination
Yeah.
heavily.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of people, if they read, like a lot of Catholics, I'll be honest, if they read back and read Aquinas, they would probably be shocked how much he emphasized.
Me?
No, I'm just saying, like most Catholics that haven't read Aquinas, they would probably be shocked at how strong his view on predestination is. Which
Yeah,
comes
dude,
from
so
Actus
that-
Purus, which comes from his whole.
No, you're actually right on that, because if you look at Wagner's videos on double predestination, you have loads of new Catholics saying, "No, he did not teach that. It's called singular predestination." Wait, but what were you asking me about the
Oh,
Trinity?
yeah. Before we sidetrack, so if distinction creates compositeness, why do we say that distinction within the essence and attributes of God create compositeness, but not the distinctions between the hypostasis?
Yeah, so because wait, that's actually a good question. Wait, re-say that again? I might have not caught on to it.
Yeah, so if distinction creates compositeness within the essence and attributes, why does distinction not create compositeness within the hypostases?
Oh, yeah, because between the attributes, there's no opposition to be imported between them. So, like, if we were to just say, let's say this, God's goodness and God's love are distinct, not because they're opposed. There would be a sense of compositeness and even potency, because while both of them are said to be they can be said to be identical to the essence, but there's no opposition imported between the two. And I think Aquinas goes on this talking about the divine persons. In one of his objections, somebody talks about the distinction between goodness and love, and Aquinas responds, let me see if I can pull this
With the whole
up real
relations of
quick.
oppositions idea, right?
Wait, let me see if I can pull this up. One, the maybe it's wait. Is it wait? Whether there are distinctions. Okay, distinctions. Dude, what I need to read is the sentences. Okay. So, objection 2 on question 28, article 3. Further, as paternity and filiation are by name distinguished from divine essence, so likewise are goodness and power, but this kind of distinction does not make any real distinction of the divine goodness and power. Therefore, neither does it make any real distinction of paternity and filiation. Yeah, and his reply is basically power and goodness do not import any opposition in their respective natures, and hence there is no parallel argument. That's a good You're asking the right questions. That was a good question. I guess it would kind of be like this. Obviously, there's going to be some composition of God in William Lane Craig's argument. Why? This guy has zero processions, zero opposition. It's just the standalone random distinct things from each other, there's nothing that really makes them distinct besides the attribute itself. So if there's no opposition, I guess we could say that these things are, I guess we could say it would make something composite.
Do you think that God's eternal attributes can enter in time and space? His essence?
Can his essence enter in time and space? I do not know.
Because wouldn't that make him composite?
What do you mean?
Well, because it would go from existing in eternity to existing in something finite. That would imply a change. And any change within God's essence is compositeness, according to. Right?
Wait, who responded to this?
Not
Did
a
somebody
change in his
respond to
essence,
this?
but any change. Well, I mean, I don't even know how you explain that, but any sort of change that you can predicate of the divine essence would imply compositeness. That's why they would never say that there is more or less, that there is time, anything that can be measured. And does Aquinas think that God's essence always exists outside of time, or can it exist in time? God's essence.
That's a good question. I don't know what he would hold to that. No, I genuinely don't know. That is a good question. I mean, I can search it up, but that's probably not going to be the best source of research. Does Aquinas hold that can enter into creation? So does this imply a change? This is a good question. Aquinas does not hold that the divine... Hey, do not add this to a debate clip, bro. This is a genuine... Your mic.
No. I'm not. No, this is... I only put heretics.
Okay.
I only put heretics in clips. Hey, if you were Andrew, yeah, you would be good.
Aquinas does not hold that the divine essence enters creation in any way that would imply change in God. He's extremely careful on this point. What he does hold is that God is present in creation in three distinct modes, none of which involves motion, transition, or alteration in God. Aquinas' core principle, actus purus, he can't undergo change. What Aquinas actually says, God is present in creation by essence, presence, and power. By essence, because God is the act of being itself, sustaining all things. Right? That kind of comes from De Ente earlier, what I was talking about.
But so he doesn't actually believe that the essence is actually present in creation, but he's only present insofar as the act. Right? Is that what he's saying?
What do you mean by the act? Yeah. Because God is the act of being itself, sustaining all things. By presence, because all things are known by God. By power, because all things are subject to his causality. But this does not mean the divine essence enters creation like a substance moving into a place.
Yeah, exactly.
And as ST1Q8, God is Aquinas denies any such movement. God is in all things, not as part of their essence, nor as an accident, but as an agent is present to that upon which it acts. So
yeah, exactly.
God is present in creatures. He doesn't become a part of creatures. God does not undergo change in becoming present. Why this does not imply change? Wait. Oh, this is what I was talking about. So if you this might be in his... It would be a weird thing for it to be in, but I promise you it's in this one. It's in his union of the incarnate word. He'd say that this is said in a relative sense to the creature. So if you look at question 28, say that relations between God and creatures are real in the creature, but only logical in God. So I guess in the same way, this is kind of like analogous to a virtual distinction in a way. Like in our concepts of things, they seem to be really distinct, but in reality, in God, they're identical. The creature
I
gains
know.
a new relation to God. God does not create gain a new relation to the creature.
So he is saying that the essence of God is not present in time, right, or space.
In terms of like being a part of it, no.
Or existing within time. It always is timeless, right? God's essence, according to what he's saying there.
I mean, I guess maybe.
That's what it sounds like he's saying. That
Dude, I have
God's-
not read enough of the Summa to know this, bro.
The reason being is because if God's essence enters time, then it's composite.
What would make
It's
that
no longer
composite?
timeless because it's no longer timeless. It's timeless and time bound. It's timeless and in time. And that would be opposition, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that those things would be in opposition.
These are some good questions for those.
These are good questions. No, these are enlightening my mind, and I'm gonna find an answer to this, and I'm gonna come back on here.
Hey, here's the thing, though. The reason I'm asking these questions is because I want you to come over here. Look, you see that cross right there?
Dude, I'm not opposed to. See, I don't want people to think that I'm one of those like stuck up people that are opposed to this idea of things. But I'm not just gonna submit this easily and be like, I'm orthodox now. I'm becoming a catechumen. No, I'm gonna find an answer to this.
No, yeah. The reason why I was asking now, this was a leading question, by the way. Although it sounds like I'm trying to debate you, but it's
and Jesus came into the world that therefore the essence was subject to time. Is that not your objection?
No, because I don't think that Jesus' essence was subject to time.
Okay.
My objection is, since you say that, like you would say that God's glory is identical to his essence.
Yeah.
So that would mean that.
Wait a second, glory. Wait.
It's an attribute.
Wait, is God's glory an attribute? Because you can say it's like something that we give to God. That doesn't.
Did you see what George Alexander said? He said our God doesn't have essence, so he doesn't have any sort of what ontology.
What? Wait, he said that?
He said our God doesn't have essence.
Wait, how do I look at the chat? Our God doesn't have anything to do. He doesn't have equity. This guy, there is no whatness to God. He is thus. We require middle knowledge to come to understanding of him. Yo, have you seen Molinus, bro?
Yeah, like Lane Craig.
Yeah, and like I think Ryan Mullins is one, but Ryan Mullins is a goofball. So, I mean, I guess you could talk about glory in like different senses. You can talk about like an intrinsic glory, like his perfections that he has, and his like extrinsic glory, the creature's recognition of God.
Yeah, but when we say God's glory, we are. Oh, I'm gonna show you first. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So I think you'll see what I mean. So,
Okay.
but do you agree that his glory, that is intrinsic or a property of his divine essence, is identical to his essence?
Yeah, his glory, his intrinsic glory would be like as in his. Ooh, we got scripture.
As soon as Solomon finished his prayer, fire came down from heaven and consumed the burnt offering and the sacrifices. And the glory of the Lord filled the temple. And the priests could not enter the house of the Lord because the glory of the Lord. Because the glory of the Lord filled the Lord's house. When all the people of Israel saw the fire come down and the glory of the Lord on the temple, they bowed down with their faces to the ground on the pavement and worshipped and gave thanks to the Lord. So they worship the glory of the Lord, right?
I mean, I guess you could say they did.
So they cannot worship a creature, right? So this would have to be uncreated.
Oh my goodness. Is this
Divine
essence energies distinction?
essence energy distinction.
Wait, but that's like so. But my question would be like, does he have? I'm gonna research this more. By the way, no, this is just enlightening me.
Hey,
My
it's
question.
crazy how you knew it was EED immediately.
So my question would be like, with does God have glory without his energy? So God's essence, his whatness by itself, what it is, would it have glory or would it be like deficient without it?
It can't. That's the thing. I can't say it would be deficient without it, because if that's the case, we collapse the entire existence. Anytime God's essence. Sorry, my thing is ringing so hard, dude. Did you hear that?
No.
Amber alerts.
Oh, I just got one too. Yeah, I was on Do Not Disturb.
So I cannot say that God's essence can exist without his energies. That would be something that as an orthodox Trinitarian, which I'm not orthodox, but I hold to orthodox Trinitarianism, I can't say. Right? Anytime his essence is always eternally present with his divine energies.
Yeah, because what's it called? Homie. Please pronounce this Greek word for me. I cannot. The energies proceed from the essence. What's that called?
I forgot.
Homeostasis. Oh my goodness, man.
No,
you're my homie.
No, that's not what that is. Are you talking about homoousius? You talking about what Arius said?
No, there's this word for. Okay, I'm just gonna search this up. What's the word for God's divine essence? Wait, no, God's. Can I call them divine energies proceeding from divine essence? What's the word? I might be wrong.
The atheist in the chat said God doesn't have energy. Do you know what we mean by energy? Actions, energia, which is used in the Bible. Paul uses energia in the Bible to describe God's actions. That's what we mean, actions.
I think Classical Theist has a video on Aquinas on essence energies distinction. Because we can talk about multiple. Okay, wait. Let me. I got to be very, very careful to not fall into any sort of error right now. I can talk about different attributes, not in reality. Not in reality. If any Thomist saw me, I'm not talking about in reality. I'm talking about a distinction in the mind, a virtual distinction, according to a thing's
epinoetically.
Ratio. They're ratio.
You're talking about epinoetically, only being able to be distinguished in the mind.
Yeah, we just say like a distinction in ratio. So like in reality they share the same ray. So the ray is their thing. So they are the same in ray. They are distinct in their ratio.
Yeah.
You need to wait. Who said you need to calm down? We're not debating. I know this guy.
What do you mean? We're on the same side, brother. We're both Trinitarians.
Where in the Bible this so divine energy? Okay, George, please, bro. This typing is killing me. I'm tired and I have a track meet tomorrow. Give me a second.
I'll show you right now.
Where in the Bible this so-called divine? Oh my goodness. I'm not reading anymore, bro. I can't do this. Brenda debates. Bro, Brenda debates might be the most top tier debater.
He's an atheist.
It's a he?
Yeah, he was in here and he started manifesting within 2 minutes after I questioned him on his metaphysics.
Brenda's really, really funny when it comes to questioning me on the logical problem of the Trinity. He's very rude and not interested. On top of it, He's who's teaching? Am I teaching this guy right now? Am I teaching Sword right now? Am I Sword's teacher right now, Brenta? Or is he trying to teach me about stuff? What's going on here? Who's the one who should be listening, me or him? Brent. Okay, I'll just call you Brent. I'm
How
trying to
can I?
listen to
Let me
this guy
flip the
because this
screen.
guy's got metaphysical knowledge. Brent, come up, bro. Hey, I'm
I
gonna.
already went through him. Hey, I already asked him about his metaphysics. I told you he started manifesting in 2 minutes.
Oh wait, Brent
Yeah.
debates.
No, Brent A. He was in here. He's an atheist, and he started manifesting in 2 minutes because I told him he, as an atheist, had faith.
Oh, wait a second. Wait, no, this is a good thing for me to write like an article on, bro.
So, and because this will send to them God a working. So look at what God's working is called.
Yeah, energy on,
which comes from energy, energian, right?
Yeah,
According to the working of his power. You see this? Energia. The proper working, right? So energy means working. He says, what is manifesting? You started literally raging. You started manifesting your inner substance.
Wait, what's your favorite argument for God?
Tag.
You were on wait. I've been wanting to learn about this one. I'm never gonna run it just because I don't hold to precept, and don't debate me on epistemology because I'm not the guy. Okay, that's like astro stuff. Run by me, Tag. What it? Because I've seen Jay Dyer, and usually he kind of just asks like, "How do you know truth?" They'll be like, "Science." What does science use? Logic.
You precept without knowing, though.
What?
You precept without knowing because everyone presupposes metaphysics. Everyone precepts.
I guess you could say so.
That's kind of the way the argument goes, that everybody's presupposing something. And the point
Right.
is, can you justify your presuppositions? That's why it's such a strong argument.
So what do you think about peripatetic axiom?
It doesn't work. That's Aristotle's peripatetic axiom doesn't really work because the peripatetic axiom says that anything that is known is first known in the senses, is first derived through the senses, right?
Yeah.
Is that
well, no?
in the
Wait.
senses?
It said that nothing is in the intellect that was not first in the senses.
Yeah, exactly. So nothing is in the intellect without being in the senses first. Is that in the senses?
What, the intellect?
No, that phrase.
What?
There's nothing in the intellect that is not first in the senses. Is that in the senses? Do you see, touch, taste, smell that?
The whatchamacallit?
That phrase.
That phrase? No, you don't see, touch, taste, or smell it. You wait.
Oh, that's self-refuting.
I'm pretty sure that they just say that through sensory experience you can come to knowledge of that, because wait, they say that the mind, or maybe it's the intellect, something starts off as basically a blank sheet, and this is called, forgive me, I don't know, maybe it's either active or passive intellect, and then objects of intellection are formed from sensory experience where one can come to knowledge of something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the point. The point is that the peripatetic axiom is self-refuting because the peripatetic axiom itself is not found in the senses. How did you derive that from the senses? You're saying you derived it from observing things, but we're talking about the phrase itself. Nothing is in the intellect without first being in the senses. That is not found in the senses.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Saying.
So the peripatetic axiom is self-refuting.
George, I'm sorry, George. These just might be the worst comments ever. I am smarter than Palamas. Good one, bro.
Wouldn't we all wish we were?
That is great.
Wouldn't we all
Fine
wish we were
tuning is
smarter?
way better.
Fine
Brent,
tuning is it's not better because
that's not a good argument.
the reason being is because the transcendental argument is prior to the fine tuning argument because it's asking you questions about epistemology prior to you even making the argument about fine tuning. You have to justify transcendental categories like logic. That is the reason why if you see Jay Dyer, he is 1,000-0 when it comes to debating atheists. He has never lost because this is such a strong argument, and it's not just
Who's that one guy he debated? T.
Matt
Jump.
Dillahunty. Oh, TJ.
What is reality? Reality is reality. He was so complicated too. Reality is reality. Prove transcendental categories exist.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll tell you why. I can prove them. This is called. Now we start arguing from the impossibility of the contrary. So this is a positive and a negative argument. So if you say that transcendental categories don't exist, you can no longer make sentences. So it's impossible to not say that transcendental categories don't exist. Meaning, if you say that logic is not a transcendental category that exists outside of the mind, it is now anything that my mind says is logic is now logic. That's the same thing I was telling you earlier. So if logic doesn't have existence beyond the human mind, whatever my mind says logic is, that's what logic is. So if that's the case, this cup is logic, if my mind says it. But you wouldn't say that. You would say, well, no, because that's an equivocation fallacy, but then you're appealing to logic, so you're in a circle. Right? So logic has to be transcendental, existing beyond the human mind. If you say it's not, every single sentence is now unintelligible. It's self-destructive. So that's when we start arguing from the impossibility of the contrary.
Oh yeah, because if logic only were to like exist in particular, then every time somebody comes to a concept, this logic must now apply to another. So like
Exactly.
I could rewrite transitivity, and then now somebody else would have to hold to transitivity.
That's the point. That's the point. So logic has to be universal. And how do you ground a universal category? Sorry, how do you ground a universal category in particulars?
Yeah,
You have to ground it. You have to ground it in the universal mind of God.
So wait, like more transcendental is like, so a transcendental, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just something that pertains to almost every category of something. So I think one of them would be this is just according to Aquinas. We might have different. I might be equivocating on what transcendental is. Aquinas would say that like being is transcendental and truth is a transcendental that is applicant to every single one of the categories.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would say that actually transcendental categories are related, are intertwined. They cannot be separated. Why? Because the moment you start speaking of truth, well, you're now appealing to ethics. Why? Because, well, should we follow the truth? If you say, yeah, now you're appealing to ethics because now you're making a moral claim that following the truth is greater than not following the truth. So that's why the transcendental argument for God is so strong. By the way, believe it or not, it was the Calvinists that came up with this argumentation, not the orthos. So if you ask Jake Dyer, what books would you recommend for transcendental argumentation? He's going to say Greg Bonson and Van Til, two Calvinists. All right. So
wait a second. Brent, how do you know that internal consistency is the grounding?
What's internal consistency? You're appealing to the laws of logic. That's the point. When you say internal consistency, you're pretty much saying P, not P. So you're appealing to the laws of logic. Consistency implies the laws of logic, but you haven't justified the laws of logic, yet you are appealing to them. That's the point of the transcendental argument. That in order for you to make an argument, you have to borrow from the Christian worldview. That's why it's so strong.
That's why Jay Dyer's 1,000.
1,000 and over.
Right. Bro, did you? Okay, I know this is like this is like kind of, well, it's on Jay Dyer, but like, have you seen his what is it? His debates with Not So Erudite on like politics and patriarchy? Bro, I found that so funny because Orthodox Protestant, and she talks about some sort of weird, kooky, like really niche theory. Like I'm Orthodox Protestant. Of course I hold to Gabon's hypostatic entriacal, like, and just spouts about some random theory about how things are right if things are now right if something new is at, I don't know, it's divine command theory.
That's a
I think
problem, dude.
that's
That was a problem even from back when Plato and Aristotle they came up with the Euthyphro dilemma.
wait, tell me.
Yeah, the Euthyphro dilemma pretty much says, is something good and therefore God loves it, or does God love it and therefore it's good? So if you say it's good and that's why God loves it, then there's a moral standard outside of God. And if you say it's good because God says so, then that means that God can flip and then say rape is good and then it's good.
I feel like it's like that argument is just like so not tangible from our perspective because of course we think that that is wrong, but
Yeah.
like it's like such, it's like, no, I agree with you, but I'm just saying like it's just so far out of our reach from morality because of course like we think that we're always going to think that that's wrong, and obviously I think that that is wrong across every single scenario. So like the argument is just like so far away from like what we grasp as moral. Dude, I like these objections. I'm gonna do like a
Look up the
good bit of
Euthyphro dilemma.
research.
Now we have answered the Euthyphro dilemma
You
like this. The Euthyphro dilemma is not grounded based on what God says, meaning, or just based on what God says. And also, there is not a moral standard apart from God. Goodness is grounded in the divine essence, meaning God cannot say something is good and then flip and then say something else is, or that thing is bad, because he cannot contradict his essence. So goodness is grounded in the divine essence, not just based on what he says, but based on who he is.
wait, how do you how do you you never mind, sorry. I hold the same opinion with you on that. That's dumb. I was about to say like how do you know that something can be grounded in the divine essence
Because essence energy
if it's
distinction.
like something that we can't know? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we can say we know certain things about God by virtue of the effects.
That's essence energy distinction. That's kind of what the Cappadocians would say. They would say that we can't know God's essence because it's unknowable. So notice how, like in the East, they focus less on cataphatic statements, but they focus more on apophatic declarations. Meaning, we know God
A device from negation. Yeah.
exactly. When you say
Yeah.
the Father is unbegotten, this is the argument that actually eunomius. Oh, by the way, I'm not trying to. This is not poisoning the well or nothing, but the by the way, the way eunomius was arguing against the Trinitarians back in the day was through absolute divine simplicity.
Oh my goodness. Wait, like how?
Because according to eunomius, the Father was simply unbegotten. Unbegotten.
Simply.
That's it. He was just unbegotten. Anything else that anything else, any other attribute that you wanted to attribute to the Father would be identical to him being unbegotten.
Well, that's weird because I wouldn't say unbegotten isn't more of, I wouldn't say that's like an absolute property. I'd say that's something relative to another.
You're right.
Because
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. And by the way, unbegotten is not telling you,
bro, why do I feel like I've scrolled across like YouTube videos of like everything you've been bringing up? Like I've seen titles like are theophanies uncreated or created? Does this prove essence energy is distinct? It's, Bro, everything you're bringing up right now, I just need to like actually start watching these videos, and I need to start reading more. Dude, so the school I go to right now, I've been like trying to like get into reading like all the philosophy and stuff. Dude, my school is making me do this like book reading thing, and we have to choose some random book that has literary merit, and we have to read this. I have when's the 20? I have 22 days to finish this book. So while I'm doing this project, I can't be goofing off and reading other books like Contra Gentiles, or I can't finish Compendium because I'm too busy using my free reading time to read this random book called The Atonement by some random dude. And like when I heard like a classical book, like I was thinking I'm about to like pull out some Aristotle for this book project. Like I might be able to knock that out. And they have me reading these weird romance books. Like, dude.
Hey, the most complicated text that I am tackling right now. I would say you've probably tackled some of the most complicated texts, and I know that you have to reread and reread one page like 50 times because you don't understand what the heck Aquinas is trying to get to because he's so freaking smart,
Mhm.
right? Well, I'm reading Saint John of Damascus, and his first
Oh,
part is his treatise on philosophy. And
mhm.
I'm reading the first part, dude. I'm like, dude, how were these freaking people so smart, dude?
Dude, and then you have Boethius, his constellation of philosophy. Bro, any of these guys who start to talk about philosophy, just know, like the second you open this book, don't tell yourself you're about to read this like you would any other novel. You know for a fact you're gonna have to go back 2.5 times to grasp one random word that they pulled straight out of a Merriam-Webster dictionary from 3,000 years in the future. Like, what does that mean? What is like? I found like, dude, Aquinas's vocabulary is like actually like so weird to me.
Yeah. No, yeah. Well, the thing is, it's Aquinas, the reason why he's such a powerhouse in the West is because he was such a brilliant mind that he revolutionized the entire Western hemisphere, right? When he started
Yeah.
speaking of things that people hadn't thought of before. And that's why I'm very hesitant to critique Aquinas just because of how much of a powerhouse he was.
And when you like
Give me one
critique
second.
Aquinas,
Give me one second.
okay, I got you.
I have to switch because my wireless freaking little earbuds are dying. One sec.
W headphones. Um. So, when like critique, wait, can you hear me now? Am I good to talk?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Am I good to talk now?
I'm trying to flip my audio. Give me one sec.
I got you.
Talk.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Okay, talk again.
Hello?
What the heck, bro? Talk again.
Hello?
I've never used these freaking stupid headphones, bro. I'm freaking getting heated. More time. Hello. No.
Hello? Long you down. Oh, whoa. It's too late.
Let me see if I go here.
It's too late.
Bro, what the heck is wrong with these things? This thing on the way. Oh wait, this is loose, bro. All right. There we
Hello?
go. There we go.
All right, so am I good to talk?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like when critiquing Aquinas, number one, like as much as I hate it, you're always gonna have those like weird Thomist Zoomer guys who just like want to have a little like comment battle with you. Then number two, you're gonna have Aquinas himself, who probably thought of a response to your objection, because like nobody's automatically gonna know every single response to objection he has. So when you critique something, like obviously a lot of the times he's gonna critique himself and respond to himself before you can.
Yeah, I agree. That's actually people were asking for the thing, and I couldn't see my comment section. Let me reload my screen real quick. It might time me out for a second.
All right. I have now become the owner of this oh, never mind.
Okay, there we go. There. So I couldn't see the chat for a second. Okay, now.
Hold me down.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Whoa.
I think that most great minds and debaters, they don't ever publicize anything that they themselves haven't thought through thoroughly. Meaning, me myself being laity, whenever I want to make an argument from scripture, I always play devil's advocate, and I sit there for hours thinking about any possible answer against that objection.
That's actually real. You gotta think against yourself before you think for yourself. Because, bro, think about it. Anybody who critiques themselves before they affirm themselves, a lot of the times they're gonna end up victorious in like a debate about it, because usually they're just gonna be ahead of you. Like, let's say you're talking about a Bible verse and you had an objection to it. Sooner or later, when talking to a Unitarian about the divinity of Christ, they're gonna bring up that objection, and you're already gonna have thought about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't know if you've seen the argument I ran against Andrew on John 8:58 when it comes to nominal preexistence.
What is it?
So I let Brent up. Let's see this time. I'll show you the clip here in a bit. Because I thought about this. I sat there and thought about this for a long time before I ever presented it. So I knew it was a strong argument. And you can see at the beginning of the video, I tell Mitch, watch this. I'm Nostradamus. I'm gonna get Andrew Griffin to admit that God is not all knowing, and that's gonna be his whole argument. 2 minutes. God is not all knowing.
That's actually crazy. Dude, yeah. Dude, I wish I was as smart as you. If I was as smart as you, I'd probably already have an answer to those questions you asked me. I'd probably be levitating with numbers going around me, S5 modal logic floating every.
I want to study. So next year I want to study Greek, and then I definitely want to study analytic philosophy. Dude, there's so much time left right now. In 20 years, I want to study because I feel so dumb when I listen to people like Bo Branson, and I'm like, man, these dudes are so freaking smart.
Hey, Sort, can I ask you something? I didn't quite hear what you said. Just who were you going to present the argument to about God not being all knowing?
There's a guy named Andrew Griffin. I did present it.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know Andrew Griffin.
He's a big Unitarian apologist
Okay.
on YouTube.
I'll have to look him up. Thanks.
Yeah. So do you want to continue with that conversation? We were talking about how you kept appealing to ontology in the external world and saying that we were able to derive the laws of logic through observation.
Yeah, I mean, we can go back to it if you want. We really didn't end anywhere good. I think the argument with regard to the Trinity is a whole lot more interesting. But I mean, we can talk about what you want to talk about, Sword. Just the one thing I would ask is don't interrupt me unless you have a clarifying question, and I will absolutely do the same for you.
I'm fine with that, but I will interrupt you if I feel like you are not answering the question.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. If I dodge, you better interrupt me. Are you out of your mind? Yeah, Sword, please.
Can I cut in real
Sure.
quick?
I'm sorry. I don't know your
I'm not
name
trying to
on the person on the right. What is it?
It's just Scholastic.
Scholastic. Awesome. Please go ahead.
I do have to go because my girlfriend texted me an hour ago wanting to call, and I have been on this for an hour.
Hey,
so I'm about to get in trouble. So
tell
God
her,
bless y'all.
Tell her 10 more minutes.
No, family's important.
I did.
Family's
I
important.
texted her. I said, okay, I'll call. Just give me 10 more
No,
minutes.
family's important.
No,
You
she's
got to
going
go,
on a trip
Scholastic.
tomorrow,
See you, man.
so
Thank you.
I have to because she's going on a trip for a week and I won't see her for a while. So we got to call.
All right. God bless you, bro.
All right. God bless
Get
you.
that quality time. Do it.
Okay. So my question, the reason why I wouldn't want to jump to the Trinity right away is the reason because the moment you start criticizing the Trinity, you're going to be appealing to the laws of logic and contradiction. So if we cannot get a justification on your behalf for the laws of logic, I would not want to proceed allowing you to critique the Trinity using the laws of logic, something you haven't yet justified.
Yeah, I came into the chat. I thought we agreed initially that the Trinity is illogical. In fact, Aquinas said this pretty clearly.
Okay, do you want to present your argument for logic?
No, not particularly, because it's not that interesting. I think that Aquinas was pretty clear in saying that the Trinity is an illogical concept. It is part of the nature of God. It's not nature, is not the right word. You can correct me on this one, because I know that you know Aquinas better than I do. But he does make it very clear that the concept of the Trinity is illogical.
Do you know that I'm not a Thomist? So
I don't
Aquinas
know
is
what a
not
Thomist is.
authoritative.
So I'm
Thomas
sorry.
Aquinas.
I don't.
That's his name,
Oh, okay.
Thomas Aquinas. I'm not a Thomist.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry, Thomist. I thought Thomist referred to something else. You'll have to educate me on this. I'm not. I'm still trying to learn about the Trinitarian arguments. So yeah, when you say Thomist, you just mean adhering to what Thomas Aquinas said.
Yeah, the brother that
Oh,
was
thank
just
you.
here, he himself is a Thomist.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So
Do you want to?
I don't hold
Do you
to
want to
his
tell me?
authority.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Do you want to tell me about then where you get your idea of the Trinity from, if not from Aquinas? Because again, I'm still trying to look into the subject. So if you want to educate me on some sources I can look into, that'd be rad. And by the way, you said earlier that I want to learn Greek. I want to learn, dude, learn Greek, learn Hebrew. That's amazing. You're a young guy. You got time ahead, and I love that you're looking into this and looking up to people who make good arguments. So good for you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, I hold to Eastern Tridology, so that would be Cappadocian Trinitarian perspectives.
Cool. I can't go off of I can't go off of the mic or I'm gonna lose connection. But yeah, so I'll try to remember these. I'm gonna pull out some paper. While I do that, just to kind of make sure we don't go dead air. What's your preferred translation of the Bible?
ESV and ASB. But I'm gonna be very honest with you, brother. I will not allow you to critique the Trinity without you justifying logic, because that would be, I'll tell you the reason why. I know you think I'm trying to probably set up a trap. I'll give you the reason why. Because I cannot allow you to have your unjustified assumptions as much as you wouldn't allow me to have unjustified assumptions. you wouldn't allow me to have this conversation and start off saying, well, I just assumed the Trinity. You can't question that. Let's move on forward from there. Likewise, you have assumptions, epistemic assumptions, metaphysic assumptions that I cannot just allow you to assume.
So, those translations again, yeah, I think you're using great translations. Um, the person you referenced before is Cappadocius.
Cappadocians.
Cappadocians. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Did you register what I did say though?
Yes, I did. I was about to respond to it. Do you want to hear it?
Yep.
Great. So you made a straw man of my argument because I would grant that you assume the Trinity exists, just like you would grant me that the physical world exists. So
I wouldn't.
again, sword, pre-assumptions are fine, and I'm willing to discuss those. But for you to straw man me is a really rude thing to do. Please go ahead.
I wouldn't grant you the world just like I don't want you to grant me the Trinity.
No, you accused me of saying that I would not grant you the Trinity as a presumption. That was a false statement about what I would allow and what I wouldn't. I'm trying to be
I
honest.
understand what you're saying. Yeah, I understand what
Yes.
you're saying now.
Yeah. This is why we had problems before, sir.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. So you would grant me the Trinity, so that means you can't question the Trinity, right? Okay, so the Trinity is true. Okay, let's move forward from there.
Great. So can you provide any other, do I need any other assumptions in order to extract the laws of logic other than the Trinity exists?
The Trinity exists. The God of the Bible is true. These are all my assumptions. Jesus rose
Okay.
from the dead.
Cool.
And the Bible is inerrant and cannot be contradicted. It is infallible. All of these are the
Excellent.
assumptions that you have to grant me.
Okay, so if I grant you all those assumptions, can I make the argument to you that by the law of parsimony, my worldview is better because it entails fewer entities?
Explain to me.
Sure. As a physicalist, I require fewer assumptions than you do as a orthodox Christian.
You don't.
Okay, well, that's a nah argument, so cool. Got it.
Yeah, you don't. You have a whole list of transcendental categories that you don't justify.
Again, I don't believe in
So-
the existence of any transcendental categories.
I know, but here's the thing. If you said you granted me the biblical worldview, the Bible being true, God of the Bible being true, then that means that the God of the Bible is the ultimate truth. So you already granted me that. So what are we arguing?
So that's more assumptions than what I have.
Yeah, and you told me that you granted to me these assumptions. And in
Yeah.
the God of and in the Bible, the God of the Bible is the supreme deity. There's nothing greater than him. So you already granted me my assumptions. Therefore, the God of the Bible is supreme and there is nothing greater than him. So I won the argument, right?
But
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
so if I grant you all of those assumptions, I would say that my worldview is superior because I have fewer assumptions. So by the law of parsimony, mine is better.
How can it be better if you already granted to me that the God of the Bible is the greatest? If you grant me the Bible, the God of the Bible is the greatest, and there is nothing better. So I thought you granted to me. I thought you granted.
Yeah, I
that
did.
to me.
I did.
So
Yeah.
how are you saying there's something better?
Again, I'm sorry. I phrased this as a question. Maybe it didn't come through. What's to prevent me from challenging?
I'm sorry, you keep timing out, bro. It might be my internet, and I apologize for that, but it keeps. I promise you, I'm not kicking you out. Like if you saw my hand was here when you timed out. Yeah, I don't know if that's my internet. It could be my internet is trash, but you are on the scene. Go ahead.
Okay, no worries. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I had prefaced this with the question of what's to prevent me from challenging your worldview of granting all those assumptions versus you granting me all the assumptions of my worldview and saying my worldview is superior based on the law of parsimony because it entails fewer assumptions. That was sort of the whole premise of this. I'm sorry if I didn't get all of that out.
You did get all of that out, but you already granted me the fact that the God of the Bible is superior and he is the greatest conceivable thing. If you already granted me that, you can't then turn around and say, well, actually, I didn't grant you that because there's something greater. I thought you already
Oh, I
granted
see.
it.
Oh, see, I'm sorry. I was making the corollary argument where if I grant all of these things and your position is true, it entails more assumptions than if you grant me all of my assumptions, which is physicalism. So therefore, mine is superior based on the law of parsimony. But you're saying I can't do that?
No, you can't do that because you already granted
Okay.
me out of the Bible. And by that, I mean the God of the Bible, who is the greatest conceivable thing. So when you
Oh, I'm sorry.
granted me that, then you can't argue against me anymore. I don't. It's that time of it's that time of night, bro. You know, it might be good for you to come back. It might be
Yeah,
good for you
sorry.
to.
No, I misunderstood your use of the word grant. I thought you meant grant for the sake of argument instead of just grant that you're right. So if you're
Grant for
just
the sake of
saying
argument.
if I no, it's fine. If I just grant that you're right, you're correct. I can't respond at all.
That's the point. So you shouldn't
Yep.
grant me any presuppositions.
No, I just shouldn't even grant you anything to understand your argument. I should just assume that you're right.
You shouldn't grant me any presuppositions because the moment you start granting me presuppositions, I get to tell you, well, grant me this, grant me also this, grant me also this, and then you can't make an argument anymore.
No, I'm saying I'm granting it for the sake of argument so we can compare, but I feel like what you're saying.
You're gonna keep timing out. All right. It's probably my internet. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's that time of day.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with the internet, man. This is not working. So I don't
Okay,
know if
so
it's my end or
it'll
your
probably
end.
be, I don't know. It's probably mine. It
Okay.
happens. It's happened before. Around
Okay.
this time.
Well, I just
So
yeah, I'm sorry, Sword. I don't mean to interrupt, man, but yeah, with the connection being as bad as it is, I'm probably just going to go ahead and wrap it up. But yeah, did you have anything that you wanted to respond to me with?
no, you granted me my presuppositions. I'm good with that.
Cool. And you're arguing that if I grant you your presuppositions, therefore I'm not allowed to argue with you anymore, as opposed to what I'm saying is that if I grant you your presuppositions, I'm granting it for the sake of argument so I can make a comparison. That's all I wanted to leave off with. Thank you.
Yeah, and for the sake of argument, if you grant me my presuppositions, for the sake of argument, you still have to hold to the things you just granted me. And the things you just granted me are that the God of the Bible is true and he is the highest conceivable thing. So the moment you start trying to contradict that and say there's something greater, you're contradicting the fact that you actually granted me that. So you actually
Right. So
didn't grant me that.
as soon as I grant you anything, including for the sake of argument, I'm not allowed to argue.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Because you granted me the argument, the totality of my argument. So anything you then say is going to contradict what you just granted me. That's the point. You can't argue anymore. Yep. All right. May the Lord bless you guys. Whoever's watching, I know there wasn't much people watching, and we were getting into philosophy today. This is different than when Mitch does. Mitch is better, sticking to the Bible. But today, sadly, we didn't have much oneness or Unitarians come up. We didn't have much people come up, so maybe another day we do. But whoever's watching, may the Lord bless you guys.